Bosch&Strategy.com is an attempt to put into discussion the way the design of the space we use influences the way we behave and think. And we thought that by designing the parliament, redesigning the parliaments in Denmark, at least, we would create a discussion in Denmark about how space influences the way we behave and think in our daily environment, especially in this sense, the democratic political systems, because a lot of the spaces are actually not democratic, and they might even, as an effect, have a negative influence on democratic systems or the way we decide. By doing so, GOM strategy also is a kind of thought about how to change something which is so full of history that it is difficult to change. So you can't just take it away and put something new instead. You have to invade it with something new. Like that's why it looks like a chewing gum, which kind of invades the existing space and doesn't demolish it, but just adds the new to the old. It's kind of a start of a changing process.
We actually choose the democracy to present because everybody has a meaning of democracy and is a part of democracy. But this kind of strategy that we're working on could also be broadened out to, for example, how is the democratic situation in a school, for example, or in a prison, or anywhere else in society? You can discuss some of these subjects, actually. How would the financial discussion be if all the politicians were sitting on jumping balls, for example? And also there is, for example, a freezing space where you can go and take quick decisions, and so on. There is a lot of different opportunities to use the space.
Here we have one. This is a balancing room. This is a table where you actually have to talk together to sit on, because if one gets up, it gets out of balance. You can see Condoleezza Rice and Putin, and you can see that it's definitely out of balance, their table. I mean, all these things, you know, they are about what happens to a meeting. You know, if this is a meeting with George Bush and other people discussing the situation in Iraq, you know, I mean, the whole meeting would be very different just because they're actually sitting in a different physical environment. We think that our physical environment has a much larger influence on the way we behave than we kind of acknowledge. Here you can see the chair, and it's a problem that in a way, everybody knows it. You know, you don't feel the same way in the sleeping room as you do in the living room, as you do in the kitchen. We start to look at different parliaments around the world, and we discovered that almost all of them are alike. As you can see, I mean, you can't really see the difference in between the Danish parliament, you know, which is very proud of their democratic tradition, and the parliament in Saudi Arabia. It's like you can see the English way here, where people sit, you know, opposing each other, you know, where you have like two-party system, and then you have the Greek, the round way. And they're both not very communicative in a way, especially not following the way our society is developing. I mean, it's also strange that we have a society and communication means that develop so much, and we have the same way of sitting as they sat in, the Greeks and the Romans. Denmark as a country should be innovative, creative, developing itself, and so on, so on. And in the same time, we don't, I mean, we just say it, we don't do it, you know? I mean, there's no action following the words about creativity, innovation, initiative, and so on, so on, so on. So we're trying to change it, but we had a lot of very positive reactions in Denmark and are discussing eventual changes. So let's see where we go.